This episode has been brought to you by Subject to Change Customs. Choose Subject to Change for all your custom apparel and promotional product needs. Follow them on all social media at S2C LLC and get your 4 times dope merch on their website. That's www.shops2c.com.
Yeah, we in the building. 4 times dope. Yeah, we known to get it live, man. 4 times dope. New level, keep it high, yeah. 4 times dope. Mic check, now we on it, we live.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a special episode of the 4 Times Dope podcast. This is a championship episode here, boys. How y'all feeling tonight?
Man,
amazing. Still
Those
on
North Carolina Central University Eagles took that dub, didn't they? We told them. We told them.
man, we like Darcy. We predicted that already, man.
I mean, you know what you know. We knew it.
I told
We
him.
told them.
I forecasted. I told him.
Yeah, I think
They're
we
getting
all
ahead
said
today.
we
It's
all
not
said-
because Deion was leaving, it's because our team is better. The MEAC is a better conference.
The
We play
swag.
quality football. We're referring to the Celebration Bowl, which was against the North Carolina Central University Eagles and the Jackson State University Tigers. They took a big L. We won. That's 6-1 MEAC versus SWAC down in Atlanta. All 4 of us went down there and had a blast. So I want to go around the table and figure out from you all, your experience on Thursday, Friday when you got in, how the SWAC people tried to disrespect our gangster, tell us we was come at us sideways like we wasn't gonna, whip up on that ass.
Exactly.
I just want to know, Kwame, I'm gonna throw it to you. Let me know what was what day did you arrive into Atlanta?
got there. Me and my wife got there on Friday around 12:30. I knew it was a good sign when I got to the airport. When I left BWI, and I'm casually and gradually seeing Eagles with their paraphernalia on, people greeting. It just felt good. It was in the air, man. So it was clearly about a good 15, 20 Eagles on my flight alone, just shooting down to Atlanta.
Right.
So that was the first good sign. It might have been like a couple for Jackson State. I said, oh, okay. I see what time it is already.
Country Bammers don't live in DC.
That's what I'm saying, yo. So it was just like, I knew what it was then. But like, just the flight was cool, getting there on time, the hotel, all that was good, man. Just trying to get there and gradually seeing Jackson State, people, arriving and stuff. But I didn't really get into too much like of the, people was cordial, people was talking. I was, seeing Eagles here and there throughout the city and stuff. So it was really good to hotel hop to different hotels on a chase for paraphernalia, which I still didn't get any. Well, I bought my sister something, but
you didn't want what you saw. I mean, it was trash.
You're right. There you go.
I
I didn't want what I
Trash.
saw.
It was not from Subject to Change. It was university stuff.
Yeah,
It was pretty basic.
It was the basic core. If you just didn't have anything,
Right.
you need to grab something quick, then it was good, but it wasn't like what you were
Arial
looking for.
font.
It was the stuff like if you didn't go to Central, but you wanted some Central stuff.
Yeah,
That's what you got.
that's what I saw, man.
Yeah, that was for them.
Yeah, so I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed by that because I thought there was gonna be several vendors there, but outside that, it was cool. Got a chance to hook up with my sister and her husband that night, and went out to eat at the Braves' new baseball field. They got a whole little area where they got like
It's dope in there.
restaurants and I think it's called Battery something. I don't know, but
Battery Park.
Battery Park. Yeah, so we went out there, ate and drank. It was cool, man. Came back, and that was my intro to Atlanta that first day.
Main man, what's good, doggy? You got it on Wednesday, didn't you?
Yeah. No, Thursday.
Thursday, like
They got
I
a
got
Monday
it,
or something,
yeah,
didn't
my
You,
bad.
you know what? I
We
almost
was in
got there
town,
on-
baby.
I almost, listen, I almost got there on Wednesday. I got there at 7:00 Thursday morning. My flight landed at 7:15 in the morning.
8 a.m.
Damn,
8 a.m.
that nigga ready.
And I was in the airport like this. I was in the airport like this.
Let that eagle flag fly, baby. Eagle pride.
Hey, look. So here's what's interesting. His was, for me, it was a proud moment to be a part of James E. Shepherd's legacy. And it was a proud moment for me to reflect back on my relationship with Miss Nancy Rowland
Mhm.
and all the professors I had and all the folks I met. And also I think about um almost going to another school that I signed with and didn't go,
Yeah.
which was gangster in itself. But it just was a proud moment to be an Eagle in the airport. Because I left so early Thursday morning. I really didn't see too many Eagles in the airport, right? On Thursday morning. But by the time I got, it's funny because by the time I got to the airport in Atlanta, I flew straight to Atlanta from up here. I started seeing when I landed, I got off the plane, got my bag. I started seeing folks. I started seeing folks come in, and
Once you arrived,
our school arrived. They were arriving,
okay,
and
uh-huh.
Our school, and I stayed in the airport because I couldn't check in until like what 3. So I hung out in the airport. I just kicked
Oh,
food
yeah.
and stuff like that. But I started seeing folks come in, man, and we have a cliquish culture.
Yes, we do.
That was out the window. If you had Eagle paraphernalia on,
Yeah, that's true.
man, I'm switching numbers with folks I never, knew, or even if I knew their clique, we ended up switching numbers by the time it was over with. We wanted to stay in touch and just share the whole experience.
Right.
So my whole experience is more so like a grown-up field trip. Like I was super excited to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? I was super excited to be a part of this because I know this is what HBCU football, HBCU life, HBCU culture is about. It's really about family. Even though we're cliquish, it's really about family. So that's my experience.
Kisharo.
So we left Friday night. We left Friday night because Tawana had to work, so she couldn't take off. But she could. She just didn't want to. It was the last day before school got out. So we left Friday.
She wanted to be with her biscuits.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So hyped up, grandma came with the kids. They was all straight, riding to the airport. Midway there, get a text. Your flight has been delayed. So I'm like, okay.
Where did you fly?
Delta.
Not Delta.
So we get.
I thought it was American. It was mine.
Damn.
Delta. So I was like, all right, it's cool.
The hub is in Atlanta.
It's only 30-minute delay of getting there. We're supposed to get there like 9. So it's now like 9:30. So all right, cool. Get to the airport. Go ahead, get us some drinks, have some dinner. That energy was flowing. We was like, we're gonna turn up and get there. Like it's gonna be good. Cool. Get there, get on a flight, no more delays. Get there, get our bags. End up waiting for our homegirl Bridget because she said she had some delays too. We was all supposed to Uber to the hotel together. Get there, and her bags did not get on the flight with her.
So, Bridget didn't have any bags.
Not one. So we go to the. She was on American, Jermaine. She was on American. So they messed her up. So getting this line to find out her bags. This is lady in there just talking. Not somebody to talk your head off. I'm like, well, you just shut up. Especially when you're already pissed off. So anyway, in there they said the bag was gonna come at 12:30. So we was like, okay,
you gotta wait.
It's 10:30, 11 this time. I'm not sure. So Bridget was like, well, y'all can go. Don't worry about it, whatever. And we was like, no, we're not gonna leave you in the airport by yourself. So by this time the high was coming down.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and the game was at noon the next day.
Yeah, so it was like, you know what, let's go to the airport. While we're here, we're gonna get some more drinks and turn up. Still trying to keep the energy going, right?
Got to.
Go to every freaking place in there closed. I was like, in Atlanta, are you serious? Like, we can't get no drink. The security guard was like, you got a Burger King? I was like, nah, dude. So,
Burger King,
not no soda food.
At this point, I'm like, you know what?
What a Sprite.
I'm just in a zone at this point. I was like, all right, cool. So she get the bag, come at 12:30, we get to the Uber, get to the hotel. Cool. I'm still trying to like, all right, it's late, but we're gonna make the best of it. Try to get some food. Nothing was open. So I was like, you know what?
In Atlanta?
The Waffle House got to be open because that's always open.
Right.
Did that, got online, ordered Waffle House. It wouldn't take my card. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go get to the Waffle House.
I ate that food though.
When you say take your card, because you should have ordered online.
I tried to order online, it wouldn't take it. I was like,
Waffle House?
Yeah, it wouldn't take it. So I was like, you know what? Forget this. Because I was gonna like DoorDash it. I'm just gonna go there. Went there.
You gotta go there.
They ain't got no cooks.
I believe it. It's Atlanta.
Them niggas called out.
I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Like, it's just not in my favor tonight. So needless to say, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to the hotel, go to bed, and tomorrow's gonna be a new day.
You're going
It's
to be
gonna have
hungry
to be.
too. You're going to be hungry.
Yeah. For dinner, I ate three chocolate turtles. That was my dinner on my
Oh wow.
Friday night.
Night.
Because I was
Mm.
way lower.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that was my Friday.
No
Needless to say,
bueno.
my energy was still like
Mhm.
shot, but I was like, tomorrow gonna be a new day. You know what I mean? And so that's what it was. I went to bed hungry, but my
Oh my
energy was
God.
like I'll wait till tomorrow and then I'm gonna turn up tomorrow. So
Right.
that was my Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
The game was at noon on Saturday, y'all. So
Right. And I ain't
what
go to
time
bed.
did y'all get up?
Oh, I didn't go to bed till at 2. And then I had to get up at what time we get up? Because we were trying to go to breakfast, right?
You
Yeah.
had to go to breakfast.
Yeah,
That's
everything was
Right.
on. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we got rid like 8, maybe 8 to try
Yeah.
to get some breakfast. But yeah.
okay.
It's a whole
So
different story on that.
Yeah, it's another story.
Damn.
So,
Well, the Pattersons got into town on Thursday after like 4. Got to the hotel and straight just chill because we were in the
Marquee.
Host
Marquise,
hotel for
the
Central.
host.
Mhm.
And we didn't have to leave, but we got there Thursday, hung out in the lobby. I mean, once we put our stuff in the room and kicked it for a little while, went to the lobby and just hung out. And I kicked it with some bros till about 3 in that morning. I brought some liquor. We drank liquor, and we just regaled in tales about everything. Fucking, you name it, we talked about it. But we had a good old time on Thursday. It felt good
Okay.
seeing everybody and running into everybody. Of course, in the hotel. So I was ready to talk shit as soon as I got there, but it was very light. So it was just a few people in there on Thursday. We knew to get there early just to be on the other side of traffic because
Makes sense.
we ran into traffic as soon as we hit Atlanta. I
Mm.
mean, to go 3 miles took 30 minutes.
Right.
Sound
So
about right.
it's like, God damn. So
Mm.
once we got past that, we were good to go. And we had dinner in the hotel and just really just chilled out that first
Velocity.
Right.
High Velocity. Yep, that's our spot.
Yeah.
And just kicked it that whole Thursday. But that Friday, we got up early and I took Faith boutiquing. So she went to Candy Spot. I think it's called Tags.
Mhm.
And it's right beside the Old Lady Gang restaurant. So Candy pretty much on that strip.
Mm.
And there's clearly no parking in Atlanta. So I had to stay in the car while she went shopping.
Oh,
Faith went shopping Friday. And then
is that like downtown Atlanta or what, do you know what part of Atlanta?
You know what? It's it is downtown, definitely downtown. It's damn near
Okay.
facing the
It's
stadium,
not
but
that
it's
far
just
from the stadium.
it's over the bridge. It's over
okay.
the bridge or whatever.
Mm.
It's a stretch. It's like
Yeah.
facing out. Then we went to have lunch at Sugar Factory.
Mhm.
Sugar Factory, not Candy Factory. Sugar Factory,
Sugar
which was
Factory,
dope. And came back and shit ran into Kwame. That was my whole day for real. Because Friday we was back in the lobby again.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
said you weren't leaving nowhere after that day. I saw.
Once you turn the truck in, it's like, well, shit, I ain't no
Right.
need to leave. You know, there's not a real reason to leave the hotel because everybody you want to see is potentially going to be coming through
That's when you
that.
staying at the host hotel. There's no need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Right.
need to just run
Everybody's
around
walking
town
in and out. Yep.
and trying to find people. Everybody should be there or the Omni. So a lot of folks that I ran into were in our hotel on Friday. How did your Friday go, Kwame?
You mean the Friday? Yeah, it was the same thing. Like,
Oh, you got it on Friday. Me and Jermaine got it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So how did your game day go? How about that?
Game day was definitely cool. Like I said, I was on the high. Like I said, me and Cheryl, we was at the same hotel. Like I was in different hotels. Like you was at the Jamie was at the Marquee. Jermaine was at the Hilton, right? No, he was at the Westin.
The Westin.
And
Mhm.
me
He
and
was at
Cheryl-
Jackson State Hotel.
Oh, that's where they was at. The Westin.
That's the
They
Westin.
were all
Yeah,
over
they
there.
were deep too.
Oh, for real? Oh man, I know that.
Mhm.
And then and then me and Shar, we was at the W, but it all wasn't far from each other. I mean, as far as we might want to walk it, but it was not far as driving though. But Yeah, it was in the morning. Kashara told me about his adventurous
night.
day, and he was hungry, and we were trying to grab something to eat. Everywhere we was calling, of course, everybody had the same idea. Of course, everybody trying to get up early, get some food. So everything was like a crazy wait. And I was like, we just need to get some food before we get there and just go.
Mhm.
And we tried to get some at the hotel. The service, people said the service was bad. It was slow. So we
They
ended
were
up
Eagles. They were telling us. Yeah,
they'll tell us don't go and waste your time. So we just like kind of went to like a corner bakery spot and got something real quick before we
Okay.
started Uber to the game. The thing with the game part, like this was my first time at the Mercedes-Benz dome or stadium, how you want to call it. I guess it's a dome. And that's a beautiful stadium in
It
regards.
is not a bad seat.
Man, yeah. I mean the flow.
Yeah.
Flow getting in there was good. Like it was seamless. I mean, get to the seats, the concessions, there was no issues or nothing. Like it was a lot of people. There was people there, but it still didn't feel like there's no line. You know, like the way it's set up,
Right.
I could tell the way it's designed, it was made to make everything flow. I'm sure it's a little different if we go to like a Falcons game or something, but it was great, man. I enjoyed the stadium itself. I mean, it was a good seat, like Jamie said, not a bad seat in there. The actual game part, man, it was just. Well, first of all, let me start how proud I was just to see so many of us and Eagles in there, man. Like I know a lot of those SWAC schools, they really travel for their football teams and stuff. So I already ahead of time. And my only reference point with us playing with one of them was the Alcorn State game in 2021. And when we played them at the, I guess, Georgia State Stadium, whatever.
Yeah, at the old ballpark.
Yeah, the old ballpark. It was like maybe 70% Alcorn State, and then like maybe 30%, Central.
It was week 0 too, though,
which
means it's the first game of the season.
Yeah. I mean, they had the hype and all that stuff behind it, the way this is, of course. But I was like, dang, I hope we show up. But I kind of felt it seeing the city, everybody was seeing.
Nah, we was gonna show up, bro. It's the national championship.
And we're getting that joint like it was even, like it was half and half, like it was 50-50 if I had to look at the eyeball test, man. So just to see the support, seeing the Eagles, I think Jermaine mentioned it earlier, like it didn't feel cliquish like how it normally does. Like everybody would see each other.
It was all friends.
We was all there, man.
Wow.
Man, it was love.
One time.
It was definitely love, man. Even the support from the Aggies. I was surprised with that.
Let's talk about that, bro.
Yeah, man. It was love there, man. Like, I mean, I guess they're cheering for the other North Carolina school, the MEAC, whatever.
No, them motherfuckers are. They're no longer relevant. They're done. It's over. They made a poor decision.
Yeah. So a lot of them were saying they wish they didn't. The ones I was over here talking that they wish that they didn't lead the conference. But so even the support from that, so it was definitely good, man. But I think me and Jermaine were talking about the game, and we were just kind of saying, like I was telling him, like that. Well, I think we all felt good about the game going into it. I mean, even though there was 14-point favorite to win, which is crazy. I'm mad at myself for not even betting the spread. I'm killing myself for that. But I mean, even if we lost, they wasn't going to be up on the 14 points.
No, not us.
So it would have been a close game. So I was like, why didn't I bet that? But either way, I felt like we were going to win. And we did the same formula that we did
against A&T.
Exactly. We keep them niggas off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep them off the field. We run up the gut, man. My hats off to the execution. My hats off to Trey with the play calling. He called the right plays at the right time, the trick plays. With the wide receiver pass,
everything out there.
Like the fake pump, through the tight end for like 50, 60 something yards, yo. It was a good game, man. And I think the good part about the game that I'm glad was the fact that normally I don't like this stuff, but we get the ball for first. Yeah. And to me, I think that matter because it does. It mattered in that situation because all the hype was behind Jackson State. Yeah. How good they supposed to be, whatever and stuff. And I think when we moved that ball on them, even though it was a field goal, we moved the ball down the field. It was like, oh, we can run with these dudes like that. Like once I saw that, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Versus if they had the ball first and they scored,
they had a lot of momentum.
You know what I'm saying? Then we been playing catch up with them versus them playing catch up with us. You know what I'm saying? Because when I watched them in that SWAC championship against Southern, when they scored, like they was freaking the Kansas City Chiefs on them, like it was like fast. I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were scoring 2 points for the extra point. It was like y'all doing a lot. So
That's what I'm saying.
They did a lot.
But I think we set the tone on that whole thing, and I don't think they knew what they was getting themselves into, really, man.
No,
like
they
they had
didn't.
no idea. Like they didn't know, like, yo, we ain't gonna play these niggas, yo. I mean, for
Yeah, that
real.
part.
Like, yo, like I don't know who y'all playing in the SWAT, but it wasn't us. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, after year 7, they
Playing some
got
real
to.
ones right there. I was like, y'all playing some real ones for real, man. So I mean, it was a great game. I think the quality of the game was just, it was an exciting game on both ends. And I think that even the crazy part of it, if you didn't see that game and you saw Shadir Sanders
Shador.
Numbers, his numbers, like if you didn't see, you thought they would have blown us out business numbers by alone, because he scored what, 4 touchdowns, like 300 something yards.
But his tailback didn't get off.
You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't know, you're like, dang, yo, we kept him off the field. The only thing that was kind of scaring me was the fact that anytime, and it's what me and Jimmy are talking about this too, when he had time in that pocket, like for the that's when he killed us. He was very elusive.
But he got happy feet.
Yeah, yep, he'll run. He got very elusive, but if he sat in that pocket more than 5 seconds, it seemed like they did something good every time he did that. But when we got him moving, I was like, oh, we were good, man. But I would be lying when that last play, man, and we get they scored that touchdown. I was like, damn, I was let down.
I was hurt.
I was like, oh my God.
0 seconds on the clock. These boys scored a touchdown.
With
0 seconds on the clock.
My confidence was down a little bit, but then we got that ball on that. I was like, okay, we good. You know what I'm saying?
I said, we're gonna fight you. We're gonna fight you.
We ain't giving up, man. So I'm proud of the young man. I'm proud of the, you know what I'm saying, proud of the team, man. And just the whole experience at the game was very enjoyable. I was talking to my dad, he was saying, like, even looking at the game on television, it felt like 2 big schools were playing. Like, it wasn't like we was on ESPN3 with the bad cameras and
right.
You got like the announcers on there that who don't even know the players and getting the names halfway wrong.
School wrong.
Like it looked like a legit joint. So
Jay and Tiffany.
And that's funny you say that, because two people I'm cool with, Tavares and Phil, who were watching the game too, and it was texting me the whole time. They said it was similar to what you just said. Like it was just a big game. You know what I mean?
It was a big game.
They was really into it. They was really into it. And I can, speak for me, like kind of echo everything you said, but for me personally, because y'all know I'm not a big sports person, I think the energy of being there was just on a number I can't even explain. But I think it's a few times where I'm just very focused, like watching like every single thing that happens, in the game, like watching just everything that's happening. So I was very focused on that, and my energy was just crazy. And it was funny because the couple behind us, which is a white couple,
older couple.
I think the grandparents of Max, I think his name.
Max. That was his last name, number 54.
Yeah, Max.
He's a white linebacker.
They had us.
He had some proud grandparents behind him, and they would tell us every second day, "That's my grandson. That's my grandson."
It was crazy.
They were cool though.
The energy overall was it was an amazing feeling.
It was good.
It was an amazing feeling. I've never felt that before.
It was nice, man.
Yeah.
One last thing before I go, before I say, I think the other thing that I think was big for those students was the fact to be able to play in an arena like that. That's a real huge deal to play in a professional arena.
Oh yeah,
that's a once in a lifetime thing. And I'm going back to like when I went to the Bayou Class a few weeks ago, and one of Kelly's friends, he used to play ball for Southern. He said like every time he played 4 years of Southern, he said each time he played that Bayou Class was a big deal for those students to play in that field. And I'm so professional field, and I'm so glad that our students had the opportunity, because we don't have no big huge classic every year like they may have, or like the other.
We happen to have 2 this year though. The Mayo Classic and this one.
Yeah,
we got lucky with the Mayo, because we're not having it next year.
Are we not? Oh, see?
No, that's you get invited to that.
Right.
Oh,
they pick 2 teams and then let them play in it. Right. First one was Duke, Carolina, if I'm mistaken. I was completely wrong. But we were the second biggest rival, so they picked Central A&T.
Oh, okay. So I was learning something new.
The Mayo. But we'll play at A&T next year.
Yeah, I did see that. Yes, we played there like the first week of September. But yeah, so my point was the fact I'm glad that these young men had a chance to kind of have an opportunity to play that, but because that's a once in a lifetime thing that you can tell your kids, your grandkids, or whatever else, and they had that moment. And I'm proud of them, man. It was a good overall feeling, man. So
it was, and they never battled. They were leading the entire game. Like, yeah, we got this. No big deal. They scored touchdowns, gave it back to the ref. They just went to the sideline. No big deal.
Yeah, they've been there before.
We've been there before.
There you go.
Jermaine, what were your thoughts?
So, some of what Carmen just said, I might echo, but I was strictly, man, it was like it was like the Holy Trinity. I was looking at the game from a student standpoint, from ex-athlete standpoint, and just from a fan, right? A fan of NCCU. And here's what I will say. So in the hotel, well, in the airport, from the airport to the hotel, the folks I came in contact with at Jackson State, they were just so not even like fired up. They were so arrogant in their
Arrogance.
demeanor.
Sure of themselves.
Yeah,
Right?
too sure.
So here's the thing, but here's what I knew as an athlete before I even got to Atlanta. What I knew was this. I know the strengths of conferences. I know the SWAC.
Yeah.
It's not as strong as the MEAC. And I also, something else I know that's important as an athlete is the strength of your non-conference game.
Opponents. Right. We played New Hampshire. They didn't play anybody
They didn't play anybody
this
on
season.
their non-conference schedule. We played
Sure did.
Duke. Now, you see what I'm saying? So,
Oh, never
and
thought.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, I
It's
had
a
already
cheap
been
12 and
people.
0.
Right. Absolutely. That 12 and 0 didn't cost a lot. It didn't cost as much as I attended. Well, not 10 and 2, 9 and 2.
10 and 2 now. Yeah,
10
we
and
were
2
9 and 2
now.
going into the game.
Yeah.
But here, let me go back even before this. I knew Jackson State was going to have a problem with North Carolina Central University's football team. This is when I knew they were going to have an issue. When they played Campbell, they only beat Campbell by 8 points. The score was 22-14. Campbell really could have beat them. So here's my so again, looking at it from a sport from an athlete standpoint and a sports fan athlete, like I was dissecting things, and I said, well, Dion put this Frankenstein team together, which is cool because you do that. But at the end of the day, in my mind, I'm saying we have equivalent talent, right? These guys they can ball too. So going into the game,
Hey, Jermaine,
Friday.
when you said the Campbell Park, the reason I want, but we so what's your point? But the Campbell Park, we lost to Campbell, but what made you think even us losing to Campbell and they beating them by 8 made you feel like
the quality of Campbell's team at the skill position match with Power 1 D1 school. Those dudes came to ball.
Okay.
Campbell came to ball this year. Campbell reminded me of Coastal Carolina a couple years ago when Josh Norman played for them.
Oh, okay.
They had some serious ballers on the team.
Okay.
But Campbell University this year, what's the ex-NFL coach, the head coach? He has those guys ready. But my point is
Mike Mentor.
Right, Mike Mentor. And it wasn't because Campbell well, it was kind of because Campbell beat us, but Jackson State, in terms of, put it this way, Campbell matched up with us in all positions, from D-line to O-line to but they didn't match up. They didn't match up well with Jackson State in all positions. You understand what I'm saying? That's a huge difference. And that's what Prime said about Jackson State not being able to compete with Alabama. He said, nah, we need some beef up front. He was like, the skill guys ain't worried about. But up front, they're killers. So Campbell matched well with us in all positions, but they didn't match. But Jackson State kind of overpowered them on the D-line. It's just other little intricacies. But my point is this: that Friday when I woke up, I was feeling good. But I woke up about 4 or 5, and you guys know I was doing work. I was great in finals because I said I don't want to be doing work all night. So I got to the game about maybe 5 or 6 minutes left in the first quarter. When I got there, I started seeing folks, and they would kind of update me on how we were doing. And the stadium was just like mad electric. It was like everybody was on this one frequency. We on go. And if I'm not mistaken, halftime, didn't too many people leave.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We stayed.
And it wasn't just because of the band. I mean, people just were locked in on the game, man. And nobody, I think I went and got some ice cream and got me a sandwich or something, but I was right back in my seat. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this though. So my point in saying that is this. I was excited going into the game because I knew that Campbell gave them an issue, but I also was excited to know that we could match up with these guys all across the board. period, point blank. And I knew that the SWAC, I knew that the teams they had played in non-conference, they were nowhere near as strong as the teams we played. Period, point blank. So
Straight
I
up.
was like, the confidence was there. I just didn't want us to. I wanted us to keep the ball as much as possible. Don't turn the ball over, and don't put the ball in their hands, because I'm not gonna. Look. I'm not gonna front on Travis, man. Travis
Oh yeah.
Hunter
He a real
is
deal now.
yeah, he really did, and he's a great route runner. That's how he
is.
scored. That
Mhm.
first touchdown he scored strictly off of his head moving and route running and faking.
Hard
That's how he
stop.
got so wide open. Right.
He was
And
wide open too. Nobody was near him.
Mhm.
yeah, he hit dude with that head fake, and he bit on the head fake, and it was it.
Got him wide
It
open.
was bottom. That's it. So Travis, and it was a post. That's his favorite route too that I seen him run. But my point is, I feel confident about the game, the players matching up. And the other thing was, we just out coached Prime and his squad. He got out coached.
Oh
He
yes,
got out
golly,
coached.
he did.
He
Yes, he
got out
did.
coached. From the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He just got out coached, man. I think Prime thought he was gonna go in there and roll.
He
He thought
did.
he was gonna roll on up.
He did.
Yeah, the
So
disrespect was heavy, so he thought he
right,
could just come in
right,
and use that as a
right,
launching pad to really like we was gonna roll over.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
That's what he thought.
right. And the young lady that I met in the airport on the way back, she's an attorney up here. She went to JSU. We had this, man, we talked for like almost an hour and a half straight. Well, she talked about out of the hour and a half, she talked an hour and 10 minutes. I talked the rest.
Mhm.
I let her just get off. And she talked about the disrespect and everything that I said that we talked about in
Mhm.
terms of the business side. She said, Jermaine, we agree with that. She said there's some underlying disrespect that has been going on that you guys know absolutely nothing about. And there's some legal things. She didn't go too far into the legal things, but she talked about the disrespect. Now, as she's talking to me, I said, you know what? You're absolutely right, because that same disrespect is what he showed when he didn't meet with Trey at the coaches media meeting. He didn't even show up, period, point blank. And typically coaches at least show up, right? You meet the other coach, all this other things and stuff like that. And I just thought that was kind of ill on him, and it was a bit beneath him, because the same thing that he preaches, those 5 elements that he preaches for his players, he didn't do that at that media day.
No.
So some of the things she talked about, man, it does make sense. Some of the things we weren't exposed, we weren't privy to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Prime, he, from what she was saying, some of the things was more so. Don't get me wrong, he did a lot of good, but at the end of the day, it has to be about Prime, right?
Gotcha.
So, and I get it. He's a brand. Some of the stuff you just gotta roll. Right? But I get what she was saying. But anyway, at the end of the day, man, when the game ended, me personally, I was happy, but I wish we would have beat them by more, because we had about 3 times when we should have
3
scored
times.
to seal the deal.
Smith dropped
Especially
that
after
ball
that
in the
fake
second quarter. That was it. We had him. We were gonna kill him.
right. Oh yeah. And after that fake punt, we should have scored a touchdown, not got the
Not a
field
field
goal.
goal. Yeah.
And y'all remember when we stripped that ball? The DB stripped the ball.
He did strip it from him, and they gave it back to him.
They gave it back
That was
to him.
poor officiating the whole game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And look, we got one too now. We got one. They made it even, because they gave one back to them, and they gave one back to us. But anyway, but at the end of the day, man, we outcoached those guys. And I'm proud, because everybody now can see that the MEAC is something to be reckoned with. Them boys come to ball in the MEAC.
Right.
And it's Division I talent in these MEAC schools too.
Yeah, let me give y'all my quick synopsis on MEAC SWAC. So if you're a wrestling aficionado like myself, the MEAC versus the SWAC, let's think of the SWAC as the WWF, right? Hulk Hogan and those guys.
Gotcha.
All show. Hulk Hogan's matches are maybe 8 minutes long back when we were kids, right? All show, big dance, where the MEAC is physical. That's Ric Flair shit.
Cheers.
We're going to fight. It's going to be some blood, and we're going to really wrestle for an hour. Ric Flair went an hour a night. We're physical in the MEAC. That's the difference. One is show and one is real.
Right.
One is like,
it's a good analogy.
It's a great analogy, because I thought about it. It's like, wait a minute. Y'all done lost 6 of these, 6, and you should have lost 7. That was us, because we celebrated. But and then when Central played Grambling in
we can get that away too.
In 16. So the record is clearly showing who's more physical and who can dominate.
Right.
And the analogy is clear as day. One is show and one is real.
That's a
mean,
dope
all that
analogy.
performative shit they be doing, I'm like, y'all aren't good because Jackson State isn't that fucking good.
No.
You losing to them by that many points?
Yeah.
But
About 40 something points. That was crazy.
yeah, as far as the game, we had these great tickets. Believe it or not, my Neo Terrence is the associate athletic director over at Jackson State, so he runs the stadium there. So we got tickets to the it's called like the suite under the stadium. Basically, we're behind the team, so
Mhm.
our seats were behind the Jackson State bench. So
Yeah, we saw you
were,
on the Jumbotron, homie.
yeah, we were right behind the bench the entire game, and we had a blast. We ran into a couple more classmates, and they were hanging out with us, and we watched the whole game, and we were trying to like be cool about it, but them big plays kept coming. I started coming out my shell and started cheering like, "Oh shit, we about to." You know, I'm trying to be calm and not disrespect nobody, but like, fuck them niggas. I'm gonna go ahead and let it out.
Let them know.
So
You had to.
and then at the end of the game, well, during that game, we couldn't see a lot. We would just use the jumbotron to see the game versus go to our seats. We just wanted to stay behind the team because it was just so electric. But the Jackson State side was quiet relative to the entire game. They got loud when they scored that touchdown with 0 seconds on the clock. Their band really didn't do much relative to our little ass band. Let's talk about that. So bands, you can tell how big they are by the size, how far they go down the field. 10 to 10 is a massive band, meaning the 10-yard line to the 10-yard line. So Jackson State went from the 20 to the 20. This lets you know it's a big ass band.
Right.
Our band went from the 40 to the 40. First things first, we got to get rid of Carlton Wilson, who is over that department, and get somebody in there that can give that band some money, because we need to hire a band director and let that young man who has that position be the band director.
So
get him money?
Is it that we could we didn't have the money to bring everybody, or how?
No, we don't have people in the band because there's no money to give these kids for scholarship.
Oh,
it's because they don't want to give it to them because the Carlton Wilson doesn't want a large band. That's why Durham left. So all of it is now showing itself, and we look bad on TV. It's like, why do you have such a grandiose school but a little band? Because that's, if we're measuring things, hell, it's the band that you use to measure.
You know what? The band looks smaller now than when we was in there. Is that the case, or
when we got there, we called it Dirty 30 because it might be 30 people in the band when we was there.
So it's always been small. Okay.
No, the band has not always been small. The band was massive.
Right.
In the heyday when Durham was there, we went to the Rose Parade in 2011.
Right.
And that band was 300 people deep. I got the picture. I was there. I went to took us to California to the Rose Parade. So we were deep.
Right.
But it got so big that it requiring so much more work and more money that these people started thinking that they had to do their job. So we got a smaller. We ended up letting him go and then getting a band director they did not give him resources. Money is a resource to give these kids so they can come to practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you give a linebacker some money for a scholarship, you need to get the same thing to a tuba player. We need some tubas.
Yeah.
We need some damn. I mean, we got a drum line. Thank God for DOA, but we need more kids in that band, and it's money. So we did look bad on that front. Thank God we dodged a bunch of bullets on that. I haven't seen a lot of memes about it, but that shit is ridiculously small.
My wife thought it was the funniest thing in the world. She's like, they didn't even march on the field. They ran on the field.
They ran on the fucking field. That let you know that we couldn't do no formation. It's too small. They say, yeah. And they jumped and they popped in.
Right.
It's like, yo, that's embarrassing. That's when you know you're small. You run on the field. They ran on the field like a gang of Caribbean, people who take the pirates and shit. Watching the game, I knew early on that Richard was, he calls Pee-wee, our quarterback, was going to command that game. And he had no jitters. He went straight forward. He wasn't looking back. He didn't have happy feet. He hit people head on, where Shador was scary. He got sacked a few times, and our boys wasn't taking that disrespect.
He didn't get sacked enough.
He got sacked 2 big times, and he could have got sacked about 4 other times. He just kept missing them. But you know, Pee Wee got sacked a couple times, but he didn't give a fuck. He was like, all right, get up.
Right.
I knew we had him when 22 dropped the ball 2 times in a row. Our 22.
He did it twice. I remember the one you
I
told
remember
me.
once. It was twice.
It was back to back. First time he just didn't catch it. Second time it hit him in the hands.
That's the
and they were resilient. They didn't. It was like no big deal.
Kept on pushing. Yeah, that was true.
We kept on pushing, and then we punted the ball to them, and they tried to get that ball to Travis Hunter, and we knocked shot his hand, got the ball right back.
Right.
The team was resilient the whole game. They left it all on the field. All the trick plays worked at the perfect time. I called that, believe it or not, you can ask fake. I called it when they were on the fake. I said, it's the perfect time to do a fake. 4th and 4, you don't see it coming. Now's the time to do a fake, just like they did in the Super Bowl.
I actually think one of Trey, it may be the special teams coach, but he actually gave Trey that play. He called that play.
Feel it special.
Right. Oh yeah.
When we went for the 2 points. Yeah. When they punted it,
no, the fake
white
punt.
boy.
The fake punt. Yeah.
The fake punt.
Yeah, fake punt.
He rambled down there. He's from
like 60 yards before they got him.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, I wish we would. That's what. Hey, look, that's the one I'm talking about. When we needed to get 7 out of it, we would have got 7 out of that, and we would have scored. Some other time, I think it's another time. It would have been a wrap. It would have been over.
Yeah. Right, and you know who said also would have been a wrap, Jermaine?
What?
The coach from our old coach, what's his name? Rob Broadway said, I thought it was gonna be 42-10.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
We're gonna kill him. Right. He knew it. I mean, we all knew it, but they did not know it. So
they didn't.
At the hotel that night,
they was getting to. They had no idea.
I ran to some YE bros. That's the bros from Jackson State. Yeah, we're gonna beat y'all by 40. Like, what? MEAC wouldn't send a team that could. Bro, look at the track record. Y'all are not that good. And I'm like, I could argue with you, but I'll just let you just talk your shit. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. See what happens.
See,
see you tomorrow. How about that?
They were nowhere near close to you, Jamie, in terms of what you know as a sports fan, and like and as Abby yourself. Like, it's so many different things to look at. You just can't look at what you see.
Your record.
It's just the record by itself. That's the board of the record.
You can't do that.
Along with what the hell they got going on, those boys are very emotional because their coach is leaving. He's leaving in an hour.
Right.
He's leaving in 30 minutes. He's leaving in 10 minutes. And the game was over. He was out of there.
Nigga probably Colorado like that same day later that day or late that night.
No, he was gone. Yeah, why stay here? I got a private jet. They're waiting for me. I got to go back to work.
They were waiting for him then.
His jet was waiting. Yep.
His jet was waiting. And he took half the staff and 10 boys from that team.
12.
He gutted that team. He gutted that whole program.
Yeah, out of there.
He built it though. So he left 2 football fields for y'all to play with.
Yeah.
So, Kasharo, I know you went briefly, but I want to be sure that you got yours out.
I did. Only I'll say lastly is that, like I said, the energy was definitely there. I was just glad that us 4 was there to experience it. I'm glad the Eagles who came got a chance to experience it. Even people who didn't go, who was watching it at home, got a chance to experience it. I think this is a big deal. So my Eagle pride was already high, but it's on another level right now.
Yeah.
So, still high.
Next step, we gotta get everybody to join the Alumni Association.
Right.
It's only $100. Go ahead to NCCU. Just Google it. Do the one and done. It's only $100. Just join the association. And let's keep it hot because we damn sure we're going to the MEAC, gonna win the MEAC, gonna end up probably in the tournament in the first round again, because that's actually good for us doing that first round shit. And then you might get Lavelle to get us to the next round this year. Talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So this is gonna springboard us to right. This and this whole momentum, this wave we're gonna ride this wave to California.
Yeah, and I was about to get into that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kwame.
But yeah, so what was the aftermath of the game? Like what you know? But so what happened then? Like with you, Jamie, after the game, with you and
okay, we went on the field. Took pictures, and shook hands, kissed babies, kissed everybody. I just had a great time, and not that I couldn't believe it. Was like, yeah, finally, we deserve to be here, and it felt good. It felt complete.
Yeah.
but it also felt like the beginning of something too.
I agree with that too.
Like, yeah, I can get used to this. We'll see y'all next year because I'm looking at the MEAC as far as the recruiting goes, and they got Delaware State got a new coach. The only foreseeable issue that I see is Morgan State. Other than that, we're gonna blow through the MEAC and be right back, next year.
Oh, okay.
Because South Carolina State got rid of their receiver. He's going pro. Shaquille.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only threat they had. So other than that, we back in there. We got the same quarterback, same running back who stiff armed the dog shit out of number 22.
Mookie?
Mookie Collier. He laid him down in overtime, bro.
That was crazy.
That's how I knew it was going. Oh yeah, we about to win this. Taking y'all spirit.
Too small.
Too small.
He straight. It was chest and then in the back of his head.
All I thought was feet in the air.
He dribbled him down the damn field. He dribbled that boy.
Yeah, he did dribble him. He dribbled his ass. He sure did.
That was like a Derrick Henry move. If you see that play.
And I'm like, did he hit him hard? Did he hit him in the right spot? He did all of it.
And see, those are the types of things that didn't happen at Jackson State prior to getting to NCCU. Them boys weren't getting stiff armed out. They weren't getting ran through. They weren't getting
some real ones, man.
Those things weren't happening, man. The games I went back and kind of like peeked at. That stuff won't happening, man. And I think Deion, which is good to a certain degree, but he actually instilled in those dudes, when we show up, we're gonna roll through. And they actually thought they was gonna roll through.
They forgot about the playing part.
Right.
That's the part where I think it felt so good because I think everybody felt it. Like it was almost like a secret that we all knew. When I say not just us four, but the people in it, like I think the majority of people that was on some side knew what's going to happen. Like we like we knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt that way. And then and then it happened. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, they wasn't on the secret. That's all it was. They had no clue.
They were smelling out. They were reading coach told me, you read your own press clippings. Like, no, sir, I'm not. Yes, they read their own. I'm 12-0. You lost 2 games. We lost no games. We're gonna beat you. That's naturally what I would think too. But if you look under the layers, you realize that y'all ain't playing nobody all season.
Look under that hood and see what's going on. What's happening on that engine? You know what I'm saying? And
ain't no oil in there.
No oil, because them boys did good. But yeah, just after the game, it was still a good feeling. Like so, we went going to me, Kasharo, and Jermaine. Jermaine joined us a little later. He went to the room and then came back. But we went to the little after party. Not even a little after party. It was nice though. I'm just seeing the people there, just seeing all the, the maroon and the gray, man. It was love in there, man. It was. It was a good feeling, man. Just only I didn't care for the venue. Like I didn't know if it was just that venue or Atlanta, man. But them niggas was smoking like hell. I haven't been in a venue, not even North Carolina or like definitely DC where you can be smoking unless it's a delegated area.
Right.
I was like, damn, this is 2001 up in this joint. Like you're
smoking in public.
Yeah, it just was crazy. But the vibe was there. The DJ was talking trash about Jackson State. I mean, the love was all there, so we had a good time. Just kind of checking in a little bit, hanging out, listening to music, dancing, and then we end up getting some food at this little this food gallery spot at some point of in Atlanta that's pretty new. Hung out there, just just wind down, man. Just gloating in our victory. Yeah,
it was a good night. It was a great.
Don't forget. Right, and don't forget, it was so many people in the area where after the game, you couldn't get a Lyft or Uber because they were just so out of whack, right? And that's why we had to end up walking to the club. From I walked back to my hotel because I didn't have a coat. I was freezing. I had to go thaw out. But
nigga was like frozen meat up in there.
I think it was Kelly. Kelly was like, "Yeah, we might as well walk." I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna walk to the club."
Y'all forgot to call a cab. That is an option, y'all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we had a walk in that joint. I mean, it was about a 20-minute walk, but it was cold as hell. And and like I said, we waited for about 40 minutes. We could have been there, just trying to catch a Lyft and Uber, but it was just crazy. They were dropping
Right.
dropping the
Dropping the calls.
and all that stuff because it was just too much going on there.
There's too much going on.
Traffic.
The traffic was
That
crazy,
too.
but it was love, man. It was all good. The
Yeah.
other part that I think Jim, you kind of touched on it though, because when I listened to the press conference from Coach Oliver, he was saying that most of the guys from Central are coming back, which I didn't know
Yeah.
that, which is a
His
great thing.
program recruitment is different. He's not taking a lot of transfer folk. He likes to recruit from high school, the traditional way, like high
Right.
school,
Uh-huh.
come straight to Central and will, evolve you as an athlete. Pee Wee's a junior this year, so he'll be a senior. Collier's a junior. The cornerback is he's a sophomore. So these boys are relatively young.
Ooh, I love it, boy. We coming
Man.
back, yo. So that mean I'm booking my rooms and
Right, you need to book your room. I think you get a year out to book it. It's like, no, I'm booking it to host again. It's that serious because
Yeah, right.
they're
Right.
evolving into athletes where also you got to remember the portal, these boys are in and out these teams left and right.
Right.
And the coaches are thinking that's a new approach, but I mean, Trey's like, no, we're gonna do it the original way, which is gonna evolve you and coach you up as a freshman and grow you up in our program. That way you have some skin in the game versus you just coming in like, man, fuck it, I'm out.
Right.
easy to do.
And these kids, he was also talking in this press conference about how they were disrespected the entire weekend they were there. Like Jackson State got star treatment where Central would just, back burner issues where they would let the boys off in front of the
place they're trying to go to. I heard about that.
to go eat. They had to walk, 3 blocks just because they wouldn't.
What?
And how they had to wait in the tunnel for 10 minutes out of, because they wanted us to wait. And then the poor officiating.
So they waited for him. They had to wait for him. It was crazy.
I mean, if you're going to, I just want to know, did they cup his balls when they were sucking his dick?
Yeah.
Right.
Because
This Dion shit was a
I'm sure
little
they
too
did.
much.
Right.
Did they get both his balls? Did they
Yeah,
get
I'm
his
sure they
gooch?
did.
They got his gooch because they needed to
Yeah.
get his gooch too.
Yeah, they
They
did.
was on him hard. Yo,
There was
Hey, I
at
didn't
some
hear
point
about
you
that.
did too much.
I didn't hear about that though. So we had to wait in the tunnel and we couldn't eat.
10 more minutes. So they have them on you got a schedule you got to be on and stuff you have to attend.
Right.
And they wouldn't let our buses park in front of the Hall of Fame or let the boys off. So Jackson State buses stayed there while ours had to wait further up the street. So one way. And so they had to let them off in the middle of the street so they could walk up, along with the Jackson State AD calling us North Carolina A&T. So it's all kinds of little slick shit that they, like Juan was telling me, he was like, it was set up for us to win because they were disrespecting us so bad that we had to come out the victor.
Right.
The disrespect was too high.
Right.
There's a level. It's like, well, if I slight you a little bit and I win, it's okay. But when everybody's against you, everybody,
they were going crazy with that.
No, they gave them an extra timeout. I might ask you, Jermaine, you're a football guy. If I spike the ball, what does that mean? Is that a free play? Not a free play, but is that a free timeout?
No, he mean if you spike the.
If I clock the ball,
stop the play. Yeah,
the clock stops.
Yeah,
the clock stops. Is that a timeout? What is that? Because the play clock, the play clock still goes, right?
Yeah, the play clock's still going.
Well, the play clock goes, but the clock stops.
Right? But the play clock goes.
The play clock it goes, right?
So if you go back to the end of the game when they went on that dash to score that last touchdown, Shador clocked the ball, took his helmet off, went to the sideline. They gave them a timeout. If you go back and watch it, it was like, yo, this is really bad officiating. Then he goes back into the game and we call a timeout because it was like, what happened? What just happened right here?
Right.
So that's 2 timeouts. He clocks the ball. The play clock still goes.
Right.
But the game clock stops until you get up under center again,
Right.
Yeah.
And then you start to play. So there was 2 of those during the game. The officiating was
true,
insanely bad or insanely tilted towards Jackson State, and we still won.
Right.
Man, resilience, man, it's crazy, man. So
perseverance.
I just think that we lucky and glad to not lucky, but glad to just. It was just a good feeling, man. I hope that like we're kind of saying, I think that we have a very, very great chance of coming back. So anybody who's listening who didn't go this year, just go ahead and book your rooms a little early. You know what I'm saying?
Ready, get ready.
And if for some reason you
Coming
don't make it, just cancel your room. But it's worth being down there, being in that
It
energy,
certainly is.
the support. Like that was a great feeling to be supporting our school the way we did, and we have a good program, man. And like I don't know who said it, Jermaine or Jamie said it, but I kind of feel like this is the beginning, man. I think we better go on a run.
Yeah, we're gonna go on a tear. We're gonna go on a tear, and in basketball.
Yep, I feel it, boy. I feel it. So I don't know. So it's safe to say that we already know what the dose of dopeness is. And so I mean, we will say it anyway. Of course, the dose of dopeness is North Carolina Central University and North Carolina Central University's football team.
Yeah, the 2022 MEAC champions.
Yes.
And the 2022 Celebration Bowl national
champions.
We are champions of the world.
Man, yeah. So it's good, man.
Oh man.
Like, and I think I don't know, like Jermaine said, or Jamie has said that, like, yo, just make sure y'all start to kind of donate to the school.
Yeah, join the association, get active.
Association, man, because that's support that money goes a long way with trying to make the resources. Like you said, I think we touch a lot of different areas with the band, all that stuff matters. Even all the little intricate stuff matters. And I think, it's plenty of us to go ahead and try to do what we can and make sure we support our great university that gave a lot of us starts to our careers, and a living legacy for this. So
but before we go, man, we gotta talk. I gotta get petty and talk about these Aggies.
Okay.
Can we talk about the amount of Aggies that was down in Atlanta?
It was a lot.
This damn game.
A lot.
It's over for you suckers, man. Just go to be in the Colonial Athletic Association.
They had a decent run. Right? They had a decent run. But
decent run. Deep run. You got 4.
Yeah.
But you decided the white man's ice is colder.
Right.
Look at you now. On the outside of the club trying to get in.
They was
talk about making a poor decision, boy. They made a poor decision.
Yeah.
To not only the Big South, because that was still at least you could just, get around the state. But I guarantee you ain't nobody come from New Hampshire to watch them play. Nobody's coming from Maine to watch no damn Aggies.
Yeah.
They were in the building though. They were in the building.
They were
last
deep.
Weekend.
They were deep
in that building.
Talking about we cheering for y'all. Y'all niggas just mad she left your girl. She's gone, bruh. And you never gonna win shit else. It's over. They might win softball or volleyball or some shit like that, but they'll never ever win no football, basketball, nothing. It's like that's such a stupid decision to make. They got that white AD. He's a Mormon, so he's gonna hire a white ass football coach, and y'all gonna be stuck with that shit. And y'all gonna win maybe 3 games next season. You talk about stupid. Aggies. Hey, look. Matter of fact, come on over here and kick it with your boy, man. Just come kick it with these Eagles. It sucks to be an Aggie right now. You talk about and they got Kwame. Did you know that like that superstar track guy got caught for drugs?
Nope. Didn't know that. Really? With doping?
He was not quote unquote doping, but you're supposed to take your test every so often. He got missing. He just disappeared. So they lost the football coach. The guy got caught for doping. All of this happened in a matter of like 4 hours. It was bad.
Damn.
This just happened?
Yeah. They fired Sam Washington, which was their football coach.
Oh, they did fire him. I thought, okay, I know they fired him.
They let him go. However words you want to use, you ain't there no more.
Right.
He was on our sideline. Sam was with us.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Then the guy, I don't know, Terrence Tremaine or something like that, he got caught for doping, so he's not going to be in the Olympics anymore. He got suspended for 3 years because he didn't show up to take his test. So all this stuff is looking bad on y'all, and now you're just inferior because just like Hampton only won 4 games this season, and they were out of conference game, got smashed in the damn CAA. Not that you're not ready, it's just that that's a lot of time to lay off and try to be better without the resources, which is money. Them white folk got money.
Yeah, they probably gonna get J.R. Smith to play basketball for one this year.
He go from NBA.
And guess what? He has eligibility. He never played in college.
They play guys at all. I know. That's what I'm saying.
So he could play. JR, they gonna stop playing golf and going over to play ball. And they got a new basketball coach. So all this stuff, I mean, if you like it, I love it. But that was a dumbass move to leave. Not only the MEAC to follow Hampton, because nobody ever cares about Hampton. Nothing other than their girls. What you care about Hampton?
That's it. The cheerleaders and the girls. You're right.
That's about it. I don't care about nothing. They worse than Morehouse. That's all I care about.
Enemy beefing with Howard, so who knows? But
listen, you gonna follow Hampton? Okay, big time. So they follow Hampton. Hampton's happily over there by themselves, losing, and nobody cares. So now A&T, which was a juggernaut, they had it perfect, spot on. They said, y'all two, we don't like this black stuff no more. Yet they come back.
It was deep. It was up in there. It was thick. Deep. I'm like, damn, A&T colors up in here.
It's a lot of Aggies in here. Like, y'all looking comfortable over here. This is no longer your place.
Absolutely.
No, they got to go play in the we got the celebration bowl. I don't know what to call that shit, like the damn potluck bowl.
You said a potluck bowl?
The potluck bowl when they play William and Mary.
Right. Liberty or something like
Radford or somebody. Yeah.
The Beanie Weenie Bowl when they play Stony Brook. It's like, bruh, nobody's coming to them games, man. Y'all made a poor decision. And was crying about travel the whole time, but now they went to a conference where they got to go to New Hampshire and Maine. Maine is at the top of the country, y'all. They from Greensboro with bad grass.
Right.
Damn, Jimmy, let them know how you feel.
I'm telling you, that was a dumb decision. If you had stayed in the Big South, all right, bet. You're in the Big South.
Right.
But you going to play Maine now?
Oh, my God.
That ain't around the corner, dog. You talking about travel. That's a plane ride.
Definitely a plane ride.
For volleyball.
Yeah, man.
For bowling.
Oh my gosh. Well, enough about them. You done dogged them enough. So, you definitely got them.
Fuck them niggas.
Going back to us before we close out, please make sure that y'all go to Subject to Change, www.shops2c.com to not only get your 4 times dope merchandise, which we still have available, but now to get your 2022 Celebration Bowl MEAC champion sweatshirt, t-shirts, all that good stuff. It's on sale now. So please go out and get it while it's there. And we want to say happy holidays to everybody. We will see you guys in 2023. We got some great things coming up. And until the next time, we are out.